Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, using the Gilded Tarot Royale by Ciro Marchetti, text by Barbara Moore. There's the box if you want to see it, and I know the website's here. I think it's at the bottom. If I could read it. Llewellyn, I think. Llewellyn.com. There's a couple other socials there if you're interested. Supportive Oracle cards. Spellcasting Oracle cards by Barbara, Flavia, and Lisbeth. There, you get their full names on there. That way, if you want to see how they're spelt. And then there's website for them, a couple websites actually. She Who Is Art is what pops out to me, but if anything else there, makes you interested, go ahead and go for it, of course. And finally, the dice I'm using, most of them come from the dice shop, I think. mathartfun.com, and then there's this Tom Anders. I have a 21-sided dice, which does omit the Fool, but that's what I use for the major arcana, and then I got a 14-sided dice for the minor arcana and a 4-sided dice for the element of the minor arcana. And there's the information if you want it. There's also this part. I almost forgot to show that. If that's something you're interested in, if you want to use that, go ahead and use that if you want to follow that down. All right. And with that being said, if you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. This is James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again, and over to your reading. Hello, Sagittarius. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Sagittarius? A lot of communication going on here. A lot of talking. Sagittarius, I don't think you're against talking things out, but Sagittarius prefers to do. Get things done, let's move. How far do we have to go with these cards? How far are we going to go with these cards? Okay. There's a lot going on over there. How are we going to get to it is a good question. Now, a lot of communication I keep getting. Oh, there's a third card in the center. I just realized that. All right. There's a lot of cards down. For whatever reason, there's a lot of them. Somebody's trying to keep things where they want it. You need things to change. Somebody's kind of pushing against it. There's a lot of diplomatic energy going on here. It feels very political, which just means that people are trying to pull the strings, trying to make it work the way they think it should work. You want to keep moving forward, and you want to advance with this situation. It needs to change. It needs to kind of have a breath of fresh air, if you will. But I don't think that's really working here. People don't want to do that. People want to see the momentum to keep going forward, but they want it to be more confined with what they've already asked for, or they want it to stay where they want it to go. They seem to be... It's kind of like there could be changes here, but they're very contrary to what you want. They're like, no, don't change it that way, change it this way. And if you move forward and do something, they're like, no, you have to go back and do it differently, do it the way I want it done, not the way you did it. There's a lot of backward motion that doesn't seem like it's necessary. I feel like the way this looks is we could just keep going forward and just keep, going back towards where we want to go. We shouldn't be going backwards to go forwards again. It's kind of like if we're trying to go across town and you're in the most southern part of the town and they want you to go to the most northern part. Maybe you've been moving forward and going kind of in a westerly direction. Instead of moving over eastward and keep going north, they want you to go back, completely backtrack where you came from, go back to the starting point, and then start going north again. And it's kind of like, this doesn't make sense. We shouldn't have to go backwards that way. We can just redirect and go, more northeast until we get back over to where we want to be and continue north from there. And they're like, no, we don't want to do that. We want you to backtrack, undo what you did, and then start fresh and go directly there the way we said to. And it just doesn't seem like that should be necessary, but for some reason, I almost feel like maybe this is somebody just trying to be difficult like they're just trying to give you a hard time. These two cards together, there's a history of this situation, and people or somebody is giving you a hard time, and they have given you a hard time before. Maybe in the past they played it off like, no, 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 I'm not trying to give you a hard time. This is just the way it needs to be done. But it's somebody giving you a hard time. I think it's somebody giving you a hard time. Let's get a little more clarity on the dice, just to be sure. I feel like we need more. The Hermit and the Two of Cups, half in, half out. They want to control you more. I feel like there's some mental manipulation going on here of some color. They really do. They want to control you. They want you to, like, follow them and just, like, they want you to be aligned with them in a way that they feel like they have total control. There's something where I feel like they're trying to get control of you. The King of Wands should be very complimentary to you, but there's a flavor to this that it's like, even though it should be complimentary to you, I'm getting that it wants to control you. And I feel like if it's not done the way they wanted to, they make you backtrack and redo it from scratch. I keep getting that. I feel like it's manipulation. I don't feel like it's necessary. It may be somebody who's masking as fire that has a little bit more earth to it, that they want control of this. They want control. They want control of what you're doing. They want you to be asking them before you make any moves. That's not really a Sagittarius thing. Sagittarius just keeps moving. They don't keep looking for approval usually. At least that's not the Sagittarius energy I'm familiar with. You just keep moving and just keep going, and then we just redirect or correct things as we go. That's the kind of the gift of Sagittarius. Constant movement that does lead to some progression. There's always changes there. Things just keep progressing. This person wants to have control of you in a way that's not realistic. There's more going on with this. I feel like at this point in the reading you should realize that this is somebody trying to control you. I really feel that it probably already feels like that. If you're already realizing who this is, somebody does want to control you. This is a problem. So what can we do with it? Well, we got something coming up here. Four of Swords reversed. Excuse me. And then the Hermit reversed. I'm getting hiccups here. Hiccups usually when I'm reading and I get hiccups, it's usually like a heavier energy, a more negative energy. I feel like going forward, you're going to want to give up, is what I'm getting. Because when you see it and when they really start pushing on you, I just feel this, like, I don't want to be a part of this anymore. I just feel like I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to have to put up with this. This isn't right. And you're correct, it's not right. But what they're saying don't just go with your natural instinct to just walk away from this. It's not in your best interest. Okay, let's just hear it out. Let's see where it's going. Let's just see where this is going. Because I feel like you're going to get frustrated going forward, which is very valid. It makes sense, but it's kind of like when the truth comes forward and it's like it's becoming more blatant that they're trying to control you, I feel like, all right, I'm done with this. I'm out. They're saying don't do that. What they're saying to do is to hold it. Okay. I mean, take this with a grain of salt, because I feel like it's kind of funny, kind of not. Because it's kind of like if you were going to give up anyway or move on, instead of doing that version, go with your natural energy and don't backtrack. Just don't, and see what they do. If you're going to move on anyway, if you're just considering leaving, they're saying don't backtrack. Hold to your laurels, keep going forward the way you want to do things, and just don't look back. Get so far down the road that there's no turning back. It doesn't make any sense, and just don't do it. And then if they want to get rid of you, then they can get rid of you. Just don't do that. Don't play that game. Just ignore it. I'm getting double down with like your responsibilities. Take control of it and just do what you want, and just go through that door and kind of like, all right, you don't like it, you can get rid of me. Then you don't like it, get rid of me, because they won't. there's a lot of interesting energy that comes if you decide to do that. There's going to be some type of backlash around you. I don't think it's going to be with you directly, because I feel like this person's going to start throwing a fit about what you're doing, and then other people are going to kind of like back up that, like, well, Sagittarius is making things happen. We need Sagittarius. Just because you can't control Sagittarius doesn't mean we're getting rid of Sagittarius. A lot of like conversations going on here. You got the Star card, the Five of Wands, and the Knight of Pentacles. And there's lies. There's just flat out lies going on behind the scenes. If you don't play the game and you just do what you want and kind of like you like push the envelope, kind of like, all right, you don't like it, get rid of me, fire me, whatever you got to do it. They're not going to do that. If they can't control you, they still need you. It's weird. This is a weird one. I don't know if you can do it. I don't know. It depends on your flavor of Sagittarius. If that's something you can actually do and not drive yourself crazy doing it. Because I get, like, as you keep going forward, I feel like people are going to start ignoring you. And you're going to wonder what's going on, and you're just going to keep moving forward and kind of like, I guess I'm just going to work this out until I'm told to leave. Or I'm like written up, or like, because I'm just like, I'm not going to play that game anymore. I feel like I'm just ignoring it and kind of like, I feel, because there's another level to this, maybe I didn't explain well. Instead of just flat out blatantly saying I'm not going backwards, just to kind of like ignoring it and kind of like, well, I don't have time to do that right now, and just continuing what I'm doing, and kind of like, oh, I don't have time to go back and do that right now, and just keep doing what you're doing, and I just don't have time to do that right now, and just keep doing what you're doing. It's kind of like get yourself caught up in other things where you just can't go backwards, so it just kind of stagnates where it was, and you get other things going, and then it gets so convoluted that you literally can't backtrack. So I hope this makes sense, because I feel like if you're doing the whole, you go from the south part of town all the way to north, you end up over west somewhere. They want you to backtrack completely where you came from and go north. Instead of doing that, just kind of like hang out where you are and get involved in other things, tie yourself deeper to that spot, and then just keep, I don't have time right now, I'll get to it. I don't have time right now, I'll get to it. And then just start quietly, slowly maneuvering over more like northeast towards where you got to go, and then they're like, no, you got to backtrack. Oh, I know. Okay, let me just take care of this. Oh, I know, I got to do this. And then just keep stagnating, and then move a little bit farther the way you're supposed to go. Just keep moving a little bit farther, and just keep doing that till you get to that final destination. Go like, well, we're here now, so there's no reason to backtrack now. And if they get mad about it, then let them get mad about it. I don't see you having to deal with the confrontation directly. I feel like when you just get it done on your terms and you just kind of play innocent, or whatever you want to call it, you just play like, oh, I don't know, I can't get to that right now. No, I can't get to that right now. And you just keep, I just was naturally going what I was doing, and you just keep playing along with like, oh, yeah, I'm going to do that, and you just keep heading towards where you need to go. You're challenging them to really give you a hard time, and I feel like they can't do it. For some reason, there's a block. Like there's internal battles. There's battles with other people who won't agree that it's wrong. I feel like there's problems. Somebody's messing with you. Somebody is messing with you. And if you just kind of play their own game with them, you play that manipulation game right back, which I know this does not sound ideal, but that might get you out of this. I feel like they can't do anything about that. It's weird where this ends up. Because if you keep going and you just like you make that destination and you do it on your terms, just very slyly, people are not going to be. There's going to be some people that aren't happy with you. Some people are going to be like, well, Sagittarius gets it done the way they get it done. Other people who aren't going to be happy with you, and some people who are going to love you to death. It's a very mixed bag about feelings, but I feel like it's more about the person trying to control you not being able to control you. Realize that person's a problem. Realize that person's a problem. Don't connect with them if you don't have to. I would say, I don't know if this sounds bad, but don't give them a second chance if you don't have to. It's kind of like, the reason this card is coming up is kind of like, I feel like they're going to try to win you over again later on in this situation. There's heavy energy with this. They're going to warm up to you, try to get on your good side again. They're going to try to trap you into this box again later. They're going to try this whole thing again. Whoever this person is, please realize, if this reading is hitting, I know it's a general read, but if this reading is hitting, realize this person is a problem. They're not your ally. They're not your friend. This is not a good energy for you. I feel like you might argue that, but I'm telling you, if this reading is hitting for a person, they're not good for you. They're going to be nice to you for a while until they think they've won you over, and they're going to try to box you in and play this whole game again. They're going to try again to manipulate you and get control of you. This is not a friendly energy. This is a manipulative energy. Don't warm up to it again later. Do yourself a favor. Do yourself a favor. Don't warm up to it again. Because they're going to try to come back, and I know Sagittarius can be extremely forgiving, and that's a beautiful thing. But like for this one, I'm not saying you have to hold a grudge, but like just don't get in good. Don't warm up to them. Don't get close to them again. They want to be cool. They're cool. Be cool over there. Leave them over there. You don't need this again. That's again if this reading is hitting. Keep that in mind. Anything else? All right, I'm gonna shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email. jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's james4astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, it's below. Same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.